Hey, John, it is good to see you. How's your black hat going so far?
So far so good. I went to bed like at about 10 last night. So I'm hydrated, I'm well rested.
That's pretty respectable for Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So last year you founded ByteWhisper after a very successful exit from Denim Group. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
But yeah, you founded ByteWhisper. Can you talk a little bit about what ByteWhisper does?
Surely, let me throw out there. Co-founded it with Kyle Hankins, too.
Yes.
CTO.
Apologies, and co-founded Denim.
Welcome,
with
Kyle.
Dan.
So that too. So Denim Group was a big AppSec, I'd say, really national leader, I guess. It sounds really. 3 owners, 3 principals: Sheridan, Chambers, Dan Cornell, and myself. We brute forced it. We were successful. We sold to Coalfire in June 2021, as I like to say publicly, with clear expectations for at least one of us to retire after that.
Didn't quite work.
But it didn't work out. And it was a combination of things, including this general sense that AI was going down a particular path. And I don't know how to say that any less elegantly, but some of the same patterns of badness that we saw with cloud, with application security, where they're just going to, developers, architects are going a million miles an hour without security in mind, without guardrails. And I think that was the original impetus for doing a company, was like, we've got to get help. So it was a higher calling than doing another company. It isn't, money's important, but it's not the reason we're doing it at all. It's really the fact that AI could go many different ways, and we should, as security people, help nudge it towards a more safe and secure outcome.
So you're working with a lot of companies right now to kind of help guide them on how they're building and deploying AI, right? What are you seeing? What are some of the patterns and anti-patterns around security for AI build and deployment?
All over the place.
Okay.
I would say, driven by sector, by size. There's some commonalities. I would say one is very few have really know this that well. They're still learning. Everyone's still kind of learning.
Yeah.
There's that component to it. The fact that it changes so quickly is a challenge. I mean, identifying and implementing use cases where it makes sense for AI is a little less straightforward than one would consider. And just kind of the whole, how does it make our business more competitive? As we discussed at RSA this past year, one of the things that came out is this CEO fear of missing out, where there's I like to call it downward pressure from CEOs or boards of directors, from VPs, from business unit owners, to go fast. But as we discussed in our panel, like, there is little direction on how or wherefore or so like, go fast, okay, sure. So there's this kind of gap you see, or vacuum, if we're going to call it, of how do you go fast, and how do you go fast in a way that doesn't imperil the organization. So those are what we see as kind of patterns and anti-patterns. It's ever changing. I think I jokingly say this publicly: I could quit this day job and do nothing but surf from AI headline to AI headline. What is Elon Musk doing? What is Sam Altman doing? What is what GPUs? What model? I mean, it's like, so that's kind of fun and a little bit overwhelming, and so that's why I think it's entertaining. I also like to say, for me personally, if this were real estate or law or accounting, I would have most certainly retired.
Right.
Full stop. But I think it's the nature of what we do with cybersecurity and AI that is incredibly consequential to the future. Maybe that's narcissism, as some might say. No, but I think it's really true. I mean, you're here.
I'm here, and I'm really interested in, specifically, you were talking about securing the deployments and understanding the use cases. I mean, what kinds of things are they getting right about security? Like, what is it that's helping them deploy this in a secure, risk-managed way? And then maybe one thing that they're not doing right.
Okay, doing right. Most have policies now, so at least they have a 1.0 policy. They might have a governance council or some kind of implementation group. They all look at similar, where they have a couple of folks that get it and are far ahead, 2 or 3 people that think they get it but don't understand it, and mix up the AI metaphors, and then probably a handful of people that openly admit they don't understand it. And so that's a pattern that we see across. So policies, some implementation council, co-pilots, implementation, or some type of proof of concept all over.
Yeah.
The badness is treating all AI the same.
Okay.
And again, referencing our panel discussion at RSA, this division between consumer grade AI and business grade AI, or like I like to call it the consequential nature. Like, are you implementing AI in a system that could break the world, or is it Grammarly with machine learning?
Right.
Like that. Right. So a one size fits AI approach. And like we like to say, and we're hoping gets implemented, if AI is used for systems that can lead to airplanes falling out of the sky, to grids locking up, then a lot more mindfulness and deliberate security review and thoughtfulness should go into that design. Not, so again, consumer grade and business grade, or whatever, criticality, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's the mistake, is one size fits all.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think even with policies, sometimes we're seeing, that one size, and it's it really has to be for the purpose, for the reason. If you're going to use it for vibe coding, that policy should be in part of your secure development lifecycle policy, or your
another thing,
engineering policy.
Contextual nature, like what matters for finance and banking is going to be crazy different than manufacturing.
Legal, contractual.
Legal. Like they're all different, right? And in that context, industry context matters immensely. And so you see some folks that get it, and you're like, okay. When you're reading their first policy, oh yeah, they got that. Okay, there's human in the loop. Okay, yeah. Okay. And then others where it's just like, it's really a user-driven desktop AI policy.
Right.
Thou shalt not do this. Thou shalt not do that. That's not what the problem is. The problem is APIs. I'm going to say it. 3 minutes in the interview or whatever, agents.
No, I mean, I'd love to talk about agents. I mean, that is, it's everywhere on the show floor downstairs at Black Hat. Your agent is going to be able to deploy agents to basically solve all your security problems.
I just saw.
Are people securing their agents, though?
Okay, a couple of thoughts. One is I said to myself, let's see how many seconds, minutes it takes for me to hear or see agentic agents. I didn't even break the plane of the door.
Yeah.
And I can see it on the way in.
Yeah.
I didn't even make.
Yeah.
The promise is super neat, right? I mean, it's pretty cool. Find a flight, not a big deal. Mm-hmm. Find a flight, pay for it, book it, put it on my calendar, send my spouse an email with my travel agenda, 6 steps automatically. That's pretty darn cool. Yeah. But in that agency, you can do a lot of things with a lot of permissions. And I think the promise of it is quite attractive. We just see folks trying to implement it without abuse cases or thinking about, and we've already seen the headlines in the last 2-3 weeks about databases being dropped and crazy stuff. Where
the replace situation.
Production database, boom, gone.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Well, it had agency to do a lot. And the one thing I would say to take it a little bit dystopian is, man, the attack community, the underground, is looking at this stuff right now. And I think it's safe to say we can't even imagine the certain types of attacks that are going to start to perpetrate or to start to play out. And that's what worries me is that. And what will be the consequences? We don't know. I think at ByteWhisper, Kyle and I also have a strong feeling that there are going to be certain things that happen across events. I'll just say events, not catastrophes. Events. Let's say think CrowdStrike from last year, but not self-inflicted.
Right.
Or maybe self-inflicted, but something that has an effect across all kinds of stuff. So one of the things that we've been working on, and I think I've told you this before, is a project called the Alpha Omega Project. It's part of the Linux Foundation. So the Linux Foundation, open source, they're building all these components that include LLM components. Yeah. LangChain's being an example. Yeah. And we have been helping them on projects to pull requests, look at source code, threat model, all this stuff for these modules, these libraries that are being used everywhere.
Yeah.
And when we started that project earlier this year, I talked to Kyle and said, this is why we're doing this company is to have that from a services standpoint, be able to help these open source projects avoid catastrophe. Log4j,
Right.
OpenSSL,
Yeah.
shell shock. These are these worldwide things that you wake up on a Tuesday and go, oh my gosh, this just hit everyone.
So thinking of Log4j and supply chain, I mean, what are your thoughts on the importance of AI bill of materials and organizations?
Too early. No,
we might disagree. We do have a tool that can generate them.
I think bill of materials are like anything in AppSec that's just good. You should do it, yes.
Yeah.
But do most organizations do bills of materials? Not enough. But I agree. I think it's a step forward. It's one of the ways to. It's like say, do bills of materials get you in the AppSec end zone? No way. But neither does testing. Neither does any of it. It's a combination of
all of them get you there. Yeah, nothing atomically, but
there's not one thing
the work and
I don't know. It's not, there's no easy button, unfortunately, or fortunately.
No, I agree. And honestly, that's why what Noma built is a platform, because it gives you the governance, it gives you the AI bill of materials, it gives you the red teaming. So you bring it all together, because you're right. You do one here, one there, piecemeal. You don't get this nice comprehensive view of your overall security posture for.
We've been in the business for 30-ish years. You don't look it, I look it. Yeah. But I mean, one of the truisms over time is the fact that the attackers are more likely to understand it comprehensively than the builders.
That is such a good point. Yeah.
Like, and that struck me a long time ago.
Yeah.
That, dealing with development teams and like, well, it shouldn't be able to do that. And it's like, I totally agree.
And yet it does.
Yet it does.
Yeah.
And they're almost incredulous. It's like, you can get admin access on this site, and then from there go and get admin access on every site.
Yeah.
That's a architectural weakness. And they're like, can you do that? You can't do that. You can't. Yeah, you can. But it's that point where it's like, because development teams are so busy, so heads down, and like turnover, you name it. I mean, just deadlines. It's true. There's a point where they lose contact of what it does.
Yeah.
Capabilities. Happens.
It's true. And I think, I was talking to somebody there was the OWASP Agentic Top 10 meetup that happened this morning at Black Hat here in Vegas. And I was very happy I got to attend.
We totally missed that and didn't know about it.
It was great. But it's okay. We saw the pre-release of the top 10, but it'll be published. But I was talking to somebody before the event started about testing agentic. And she said that, she was able to build with one tool an agent that was very easy to break, to do the wrong thing, something it shouldn't have. But with another tool, the guardrails were pretty strict. But when she put in enough prompting, it went off the rails and did things that it wasn't supposed to. She said, I feel bad because I had to do a lot of misuse prompting. And I said, that's what an attacker does. Yeah. If we're testing it with sort of normal prompts the average person would use, then we're basically quality testing it to misuse. Yeah, that's what a good red team tool, right? It's going to take it to all the crazy places.
You're not constrained by anything. And then I just remember early in my career doing a penetration test, and a buyer or a client said, "Oh, well, the RFCs say you can't do that." The RFCs, like internet, the rules of the internet, rules of protocols. Yeah. And one of my guys was just like, these guys are not constrained by the RFCs.
Right.
In fact, they learn the RFCs to break the.
Sure.
They understand the flow, the SYN, ACK, round trip. They understand where, this is where we want to do it right here.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I say a lot of the tech community fundamentally know these systems better than we do, and that's unfortunate. Yeah. It's a combination of reasons, including the imperative to go quickly, to compete, to be profitable, and all this stuff.
Before we wrap, what's your thinking on discovery and the importance? I mean, do you think companies know what they have in terms of AI? And I know we've talked about shadow AI before. I mean, how important do you think discovery and knowing? being able to really understand what's in use. Okay.
Yes. Yes, it's important. No, it depends. I mean, like there's some that are further along. We're about to do a couple projects in that realm that are like real interesting. I think one of the observations that I would say, and this is pure anecdote or opinion, is a lot of the vendors, the platform vendors, EDR vendors specifically say, yeah, we do that. Yeah, we do.
Right.
That I think is not accurate. So I think it's a combination of a variety of things to do. It looks probably more like a project than a product right now, but I think we don't know. And we, like I said, we're in that space and we're doing a couple of things and about to do a project that looks like that. But it'll be interesting to see. The other thing is from like penetration testing, one man's pen test is another man's ASV scan.
Right.
Yeah, So what is at the very end of Dinner Group, and I hope we're there too. We're at the top echelon of outside testers, along with NCC Group, Stack and Lou, and some of those guys. I would say top. When we were at some of the same big clients, it's like, there's those guys. Yeah, there's those guys. Yeah. And I think the same thing's going to happen with AI and shadow AI. Like, I mean, we're doing it, but we weren't even aware of the OWASP agentic AI meeting this morning. It's going so fast. We're at other meetings, and we're like, it's not.
No, there's
It's an imperfect world with imperfect information.
I mean, you've now been working with companies for well over a year on their securing their AI deployments. What's something that you wish folks would know or go out and do that would help them deploy their AI more or adopt AI more securely?
Understand it better.
Okay.
Understand AI.
How it works.
Yeah. I mean, just have a higher IQ on it. I mean, I hate to say that, but I mean, mixing metaphors between generative and AGI and Gen AI and like knowing, like, oh no, that's machine learning, what you just described. So I think there's a competency and IQ question, and it does, like, they can't even think about the metaphors. They can't think like I'll just state this as an example, like security side.
Yeah.
Finding great use cases within the organizations upon which to apply AI to optimize. It's not entirely obvious. And the case study from MD Anderson several years back, where they're like, we want to solve cancer. Moonshot, didn't do it, but they used it to optimize patient scheduling of doctors, resources, and drugs. Yeah. And that was the part that so it's the what is the use case? What is the not interesting thing that's repetitive and kind of rote? Yeah. But when you apply AI, suddenly it's hey, it solved a lot of time and money, but nobody thought about it, So that kind of, I think it's getting better, but there's still a learning curve, substantial learning curve across industry.
I agree. I think that,
And I think I would say, you go to Anthropic, you go to the big AI folks, perhaps
frontiers.
Yeah, they're in their own little world. What I'm talking about is Fortune 2500 and not just financials, which are on the bleeding edge of this. I'm talking about mining companies and oil and gas in Houston. Some of them are far ahead, some are pretty sophisticated, others are, so. There you go.
We all need to learn and keep getting educated. All right. Well,
I know that's a cop-out answer, but it's a headwind. I would say it's a headwind because if you don't even know the right questions to ask, how do you do this?
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right, John. Well, thanks for sitting down with me.
Woo!
Yeah,
thank you.
Appreciated it. All right, have a good rest of the conference.
This is like our 45th Black Hat together.
Yeah.
That long.